Hey there, YouTube. It's your friendly neighborhood Technopony here, and here today I'm going to be talking about how to properly use a fusion rifle. Video after video I've seen, nobody really knows how to use them like I do, and amongst all my friends here that are probably watching this very same video, I thank you all for pushing me to make this video. And the last update, with much procrastination, I'm finally here talking about it now. Um, a lot of the videos and how-tos on fusion rifles I've seen have been kind of making it to where fusion rifles are okay or not that great, or they're only good at taking down somebody's health and finishing it off with either a melee or a primary. That's not the case. As everybody probably knows me as the fusion rifle guy, I'm like the Hank Hill of fusion rifles. I love fusion rifles and fusion rifle accessories, that's for sure. Um, and for today, I'm here with my great friend Dingo.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. And he's going to be our test dummy. He's going to stand up against that wall and face us, and he's going to go ahead and take all the bullets for us.
I like bullets.
So I'm going to go ahead and start off the basics. What a fusion rifle is. A fusion rifle is an advanced energy weapon that is a charge-to-fire weapon that shoots a burst of 7 projectiles. So an advanced energy weapon that's a charge-to-fire that shoots 7 projectiles. Remember that. Because unlike shotguns that shoots a whole bunch of pellets, fusion rifles shoot 7 beams of energy. Now, what makes fusion rifles really hard to use for a lot of people is its recoil pattern, its charge rate, and the fact that it has projectile travel time and speed. And I'm going to go ahead and go through all that now. See, Dingo here, Dingo, you can come over here actually, where I'm standing. Um, if Dingo aims at that wall and then fires once, you see all those pellets. Now, if Dingo backs up a lot more, go ahead and back up and shoot kind of left of it, and then shoot, they just spread, but they're the same round, pancake type of pattern. That's just simply what a shotgun does. So the closer he gets, the tighter the spread. So for recoil in a shotgun, it's not, you don't really compensate for the recoil except for trying to have those fast-paced PvP moments. For a fusion rifle, think of it like a pulse rifle. A pulse rifle does shoot 3 rounds, but it doesn't shoot at the same time. It shoots it in quick succession. That's what a fusion rifle does with its 7 beams. It shoots them in extremely quick succession. That's what makes them so deadly. And a lot of people don't know how to use them, so they can't handle what a fusion rifle does, and they can't get those kills like I do. I used to use Midas Reckoning, and people thought, why use Midas Reckoning? It's the Raid Fusion Rifle. It sucks. Well, that's where I'm going to be going into the recoil pattern, the projectile speed and travel time, and the charge rates. Now, fusion rifles have many different there's different types of fusion rifles. Now, I'm not including ones like Vex Mythoclast, Queenbreaker's Bow, Telesto, or Sleeper Simulant. I'm not including those. Those are abstract fusion rifles that are way different of a feel for them. Now, I'm talking about regular solid fusion rifles. Plan C, Susanoo, Midas Reckoning, the Vortex, Vacancy, Thessons, everything. Now, I'm going to start off with the fact that there are fast charge rate and low impact fusion rifles, like the Vortex from Future War Cult. These ones have a faster charge rate, so they're great in close quarters, but the low impact means you have to get at least 6 or even all 7 of the beams on an enemy to actually kill them. And I'm just going to be talking about PvP, not PvE. So the low impact can hurt, but they're made for shorter ranges in tighter scenarios. They're made for more of a close quarters combat. But they're still made to be outside of shotgun range, because that's what fusion rifles are really meant for, is just outside of shotgun range, but still have that damage. Now, for the slow charge rate, high impact, like Midas Reckoning, you see that they has immense impact but slow charge rate. So that means you only have to get about 4 of the beams out of the 7 to actually kill someone in PvP. Now, the difference between the two is obviously the faster charge rate will kill faster in close quarters if you get all of the beams on them. For the low impact, it takes less beams to kill someone, but you have to compensate for that slow charge rate. Now, with the charge rates, you have to anticipate your enemy's movement. So if Dingo is slightly moving like that, I have to charge up and anticipate that he's going to keep moving that direction. All right, you can go ahead and go back to your regular spot. And actually, Dingo, go ahead and do that again here shortly for yeah, just keep doing that. So for my other point is that fusion rifles have projectile speed and travel time. On a fusion rifle, the range, every fusion rifle has default range, meaning, or its default range that never changes, meaning its damage fall off is the same on every fusion rifle, excluding the other variants like I said before. The range stat actually means how fast the projectiles travel through the air. So basically, if I'm at a short distance and Dingo's here, I can definitely say that I'm going to shoot him and actually hit him. For longer distances, if I were trying to be way over here and Dingo is moving, I'm gonna have to actually lead him to actually hit him. See, because fusion rifles have a charge time plus travel. Okay, you can stop. Because fusion rifles have the charge time, and on top of that, the projectile speed and travel time. That's what makes them really hard to use for people. And on top of that, like I said, the recoil pattern. Plan C is by far the best fusion rifle in the entire game. Once again, excluding the others that I said before, because those are different. Plan C is the best. It has an amazing charge rate, it has amazing impact, it has amazing range, amazing stability, and maxed out reload. Now, obviously, you're wanting to go smart drift control and perfect balance. I was trying to go for Hammer Forge, but I feel that the perfect balance and smart drift control just make it for a better recoil pattern. And it does have the best recoil pattern for every fusion rifle in the game currently. So, and that's of the Taken King April update. So, a fusion rifle like this will have extremely vertical recoil. See, that is very, very, very vertical and a very tight spread. A fusion rifle, when it shoots in like a cone. So, you can kind of see that. The farther away, or if you're not aiming down sights, the cone widens. If you aim down sights, the cone tightens up. But how I get so many kills is I see a lot of people wanting to run around and just hip fire. It's not what fusion rifles are really meant for. You can do that with the fast charge rate ones, because if I were to recommend a god roll for you, because with the fast charge rate ones, there's like no ifs, ands, or buts. You need a stability perk on these suckers, because these have a weird recoil. Like this one, for example, shoots up and then right. And for some reason, this OEG sight actually does improve the recoil pattern. It makes it a little bit less angry at you when you try and use it. But for these, I would recommend hip fire, braced frame, and hot swap, because they're made for that little bit closer quarters and tight scenario, fast-paced, PvP combat. As for the slower charge rates, you still need stability. For Midas Reckoning, when I say vertical recoil, I mean more up and down recoil pattern and less side to side. Plan C is the best at that. It has an amazing vertical recoil, and it's just outstanding no matter what you really do. It's great stability and everything, like I said. So that's what I'm starting off with now. With Midas Reckoning, it's in second place in its recoil pattern. I can't really show you the recoil pattern as much as I'd like to, because aim assistance isn't a thing right here, because Dingo is not considered an enemy. So it's a little bit harder to handle there. But so for fusion rifles, like I was saying, you have to learn your charge rate. When you pick a fusion rifle, learn its charge rate, because you want to know right before when it's about to fire. See, it's not firing, but it's getting close to, because I know when it's going to fire. The reason why I say this is because you're not here to hit fire, you're not here to constantly aim. Here's what I do. Now, what I'm doing is, there's 3 steps of how to use fusion rifles like I do. You do not aim all the time. You prime it, and slightly before it fires, you aim at someone. So you have the versatility of walking around at fast pace at your maximum walk speed and stuff, and you prime it. And then when you aim slightly before it fires, you're tightening up the cone and spread of the fusion rifle projectiles. And the third tip of what I do to get that tight spread, that is why I kill so many people in Crucible. The third is me slightly, very gently, pulling down on the right thumbstick according to its recoil direction. So I pull opposite of how its recoil is acting. So because this has just up and down recoil, that means it goes up. That means I pull down slightly. You don't want to do it too hard, otherwise you'll just start pulling down on all your shots. So if I'm aiming at him, I slightly pull down right when it fires. So you prime it up, you aim, and right when it fires is when you start pulling down opposite of its recoil. The reason why I say opposite is some fusion rifles, like the Vortex here, goes up right, so when it fires, you pull down low left. That's how you get those tight groupings. That's why I get those insane, like, almost half-map kills with Midas Reckoning. That's how I'm so effective with fusion rifles. I learn its charge time. I know how fast the projectile speed goes because I'll learn how fast, you know, how with the range, and then anticipating my enemy's movements and leading my enemies at certain distances, and then I do exactly the 3 steps that I showed you: prime up, aim, and then pull down opposite to its recoil. So that's how I'm so successful with all my fusion rifle videos that I put up. And I thank all my friends for pushing me to make this video, because honestly, I was being greedy at first. I liked being the only fusion rifle guy, but I kind of want to spread the magic because I don't want Bungie to buff fusion rifles so many times so people start using them and then finally they have to be nerfed again, because fusion rifles are at its perfect state right now. They no longer have to be buffed or nerfed right at this current moment. So I thank Dingo here for being my my test dummy. I will let you know that when people say aim for the feet, that's not what you do. If you don't want to, if you're trying to learn how to, you know, tug down on the thumbstick, it'll take a while to get used to, but you aim at the lower abdomen section of a person, not its feet, not their feet, because the beams can still go between them. Lower abdomen, and then you can do the 3 steps that I was talking about earlier, and the learning your fusion rifle that I said even before. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly go over what fusion rifles I suggest for pretty much everyone. Start off with Plan C. Obviously, it is the top-notch best fusion rifle out there. Second to that, for a slow charge rate, high impact, Midas Reckoning. I know it seems bad, but if you get the one with hot swap, obviously the better. But the thing about this is it has very vertical recoil. It does have a lot of it, so it kind of kicks like a mule. But if you learn to tug down, like I said, you'll get those tight groupings with that max impact, and you'll do well with it. Also, Susanoo is pretty interesting. Go with brace frame and linear compensator for that better recoil. It has hot swap already, and honestly, it's just an amazing fusion rifle. It's got an amazing charge rate to match its impact. So if you're a warlock, then lucky you for that part. Vortex from Future War Cult, I would go with that. You must have a stability perk, and this sight definitely helps immensely. And then one you can just buy right now, like you can just go with Future War Cult and buy it, is a God Roll for this type. It's a Omolon fusion rifle with rangefinder, brace frame, hot swap, and a target acquisition close quarters combat sight. And you need range in Omolon fusion rifles. A lot of Omolons have very low range, so that means slow projectiles. So that means even more leading and anticipating your enemies. So just try and work on getting that range. So all that aside, I hope you enjoyed my video. And Dingo, thanks for being my my test dummy, and you know, just taking all those bullets, man. I will see you all later, and thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Allons-y.